What's up, folks? Welcome to another episode of the 10 Horse Money YouTube channel. And it's windy out here, 50 degrees, overcast conditions. We got rain on the horizon. We're just coming off a pretty decent ice/snow event. We've had a lot of runoff in these lakes. The water temperatures dropped several degrees. We're looking at mid 40 degree water temps. On the other side of this lake, I'm sure it's going to be down there around 40. Don't know what we're going to do. We're going to kind of follow the wind a little bit. We've got a pretty good south wind. Storms this evening, maybe a little pop-up shower this afternoon. Right now it feels great out here. It's 49, 50 degrees. I mean, I got multiple layers on here, but I really feel good. It got the H2 sock cap on. Life is good. I don't know, we're gonna peck around, hunt, see what we can do. There's some deep fish going on, there's some shallow stuff going on, but we're gonna throw some, probably a chatterbait, maybe a trap, jerkbait, maybe a tube, shaky head. We're gonna do what we gotta do to pick up a few bites. Let's go figure out what's going on. There he is. All right, Shad Rap fish. They're shallow on that point. It's fishing the wind. All right, little Shad Rap fish, flat-sided, cold water crankbait. Man, cover a lot of water. This sucker's fat though, man. Plump, beautiful fish. Right there. Good little cold water bait. Water's 44 degrees. Wind's pouring in here, and I don't know. We're just covering water. Just covering water. There he is. Crankbait. Shad Rap, baby. Old school. Go. Shad Rap, man. Old school. Water temps like mid 40s. Wind's blowing. Thought I'd try something different. Throw a little crankbait down around. Got it on my jerkbait rod. It's kind of hard to throw. These things do not throw very well. But just a flat side, old school flat side Shad Rap. Put a couple suspended dots on there to kind of slow the float down, and just reeling it really super slow. 10-pound test. In the wind. Wind is your friend. There he is. Shad Rap fish. Barely hooked. Yeah, he ate it. Oh, fat little sucker. Alright. There you go, man. Hey, just poking around. That fish ate it. The old Shad Rap, man. Doesn't get a lot of love nowadays. Just thought I'd throw that sucker around. It's a fat fish. Look at those tats, man. Hook and needle. Nice. There he is. Nice. Good fish. There's some bigger fish down there. Alright. Shad Rap. It's a little high spot out here. I'm just checking the fish out on the live scope and they're all over this thing. They want it just steady though. Been twitching it a little bit. And those fish, this is the first group of fish I've seen that showed interest in it. And they wanted it kind of just steady retrieve. And they came up even in 42-degree water and just smashed that thing. All right, I'll show you what we're looking at here on the live scope. Just caught one fish on that Shad Rap and I had a couple other follows. And I know there's still some fish down there, but they won't respond anymore. We just got kind of a high spot right here in the middle of this cut. And you can see we got some wood down there. There's a fish right there. They're still kind of hanging around there. There's a lot of little stumps down there. It looks good. You can't see the fish really, but they are a few down there. And so I'm gonna pick up the shaky head. Just throwing this little Hawgz Custom worm on a Jewel Pro shaky head on spinning gear, 8-pound test. And I'm gonna make a few casts. Since I know they're down there, I don't know if they're gonna bite or not, but I know there are fish there. And before we leave this area, I'm gonna make a few casts, see if we can coax another one into biting. Yeah, that didn't work. But before I leave, I wanna try one more thing. I'm gonna rig up a little small, like 2.8 Hawgz Custom swim bait, make a few casts. Feels like a little bait there. All right, we're gonna rig this little Hawgz swimmer. This is a 3.3, and we've got this. I think this is a VMC head, just a 1/4 ounce head. It's got the screw lock on there. It's a pretty nice little head. Just gonna rig. You want the paddle tail down, obviously. So you're just gonna come up here like this. Get it to about where you think you need it at. Come up through here. I'm just gonna shove it on there and just twist it on there. Twist it and roll that tail around. Twist it again, roll that tail around. That's need to go a little bit more than that. Okay, there we go. Tie this sucker on. There's still some more fish out there. It's a good little bait. All right, gotta try it. Didn't work. Moving on. So the way I'm retrieving this, I'm just making it as long a cast as I can. I mean, it's like throwing a little frisbee, and I'm reeling it down. And I'm turning my handle like this, really slow. And I'm giving a little bit of twitching, a little bit of pausing. Just kind of a steady reel, but it's really slow. There he is. There he is. Good bite. Shallow flat in that pocket. There we go. Another one on the old Shad Rap. Just fishing these wind-blown pockets. Just a little pocket back there. You see the wind kind of roaring in there. And that fish was in about 5 foot of water probably. Shad Rap, man. Sucker's getting it done today, catching some fish. Could be throwing a jerkbait or an A-rig, but it's fun to mix it up. Show you a little bit about this bait and how I got it rigged up. It's a couple little things you can do to make it a little more conducive to this cold water fishing. All right, folks, let's show you a little bit about this crankbait that I'm throwing. This is Shad Rap. It's flat side, silent, balsa wood, number 7. And what I've done, I put 3 suspended dots right there on the throat, you can see. And I've also put a little split ring right there on the front hanger. and that helps this thing. It doesn't quite suspend, but it definitely slows the float. So as you're reeling this thing along the bottom and you hit something, you can kind of just pause. It's got a real slow rise, and you can almost kind of twitch it and twitch it. As long as you kind of keep it moving, it wants to somewhat suspend and stay down there. If you don't have the suspended strips on there, it really floats up fast. This is a high rise, fast floating bait, so it gets away from the fish. So that's something you can do, is definitely suspend this. Some people, well, actually I fished with a guy on Kentucky Lake years ago, and he would actually buy a bunch of these and he'd put them on a drill press and drill this out and put a BB in there and put epoxy over it to make it suspend. That's something you can do if you've got a lot of time and you want to experiment. You're probably going to run a few baits, but suspended strips seem to work pretty good. You could put some solder on the front hook hanger, hang a couple more split rings on there, but that split ring actually gives it a little bit of noise too. But that right there is about perfect. So 3 suspend strips and a little split ring. Throwing it on 10-pound fluorocarbon, which also helps keeping it down. And I've got a pretty light rod. This is my jerkbait rod. This is a 6'8" topwater jerkbait rod by Hawgz Custom Light. I think it's 7-to-1 gear ratio reel. We got 7 to 4, I believe. Anyway, you know, something you can pick up some line, but I'm still reeling it really slow. That's the key. Just reeling it fast enough to keep it down there. Once it gets to depth, as long as you kind of just slow roll it, it stays down there. Anytime you get around something, you feel some grass, just kind of slow it down. Trying to stay right above that grass. Give it a couple little twitches. That's kind of where my bites have been happening. Just kind of slow little twitches, just subtle, just to kind of give it a little bit of flash and allow those fish to come up there and grab it. Look at that. Gizzard shad. Nasty. Gizzard shad. Some of the things you think you see on live scope and you think they're crappie, they're not. They're big old gizzard shad. Nasty. Damn. Nice fish, guys. Fish ate it. Oh no. There we go. All right, there we go, man. This lake has got a warm water area, and we ran down to the other end of it, getting out of that warmer water just to see if we can get a bite down here, and just throwing the jerk bait, you know. Overcast conditions, this table rock shad, Berkeley stunna. It's a really good color. It's a good quality fish, man. Jerked it down there about 4 times, let it sit, and tink. I thought I was in some grass, but you never know. It was good. Kind of surprised. Water is 41 degrees. That fish just came to life. Good solid fish. There he is. Working that thing like a jerkbait, guys. That's a good one. Shot on that point. Right where it's supposed to be. There we go. There we go, folks. It's gonna wrap it up, man. We had fun out here throwing a little jerkbait. Something you can do in the cold water. Water temp is 43 degrees. Throwing this little Shad Rap around. Number 7. Getting it done, light line, you know, 10-pound test, just throwing a little jerkbait rod, and man, we had fun. A lot of different ways to catch them in the winter. You just got to fish this thing super slow, giving it a little twitch every once in a while. The way I've got it suspended, the way I've got it weighted, it kind of halfway suspends, or it's actually a slow float, but something different. Thanks for coming along. Give me a thumbs up if you appreciate the content, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Until next time, see ya. It's fun, man. I love catching fish a different way. I just love it. It's just a challenge. You know, jerkbait, A-rig is the deal right now, but it is fun to try something a little bit different and have some success.